Episode is going to land deep for some of you because what we really need for you to understand is that capacity is key to confidence. So, in other words, you never need more confidence. You will never need more courage. You will only ever need more capacity for the success, the visibility, the love, the money that you desire in this lifetime. So we're going to be talking about one of the three main pillars inside of the Vocal Honey ecosystem. And this first pillar is embodied capacity. We're going to talk about what it means to have embodied capacity, what the idea is, and I'm going to give you 5 key tangible things that you can be doing today inside of your business, inside of your leadership, so that you can practice and build embodied capacity into your life today. So I'm so happy you're here. But before we get into that, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, let's just take a moment for this podcast DIY flag that I made. Yep. You can laugh all you want, but what your girl will never do is try to be perfect. This is literally a symbol of what you need to be doing in your life. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Do it messy. Do it beginner. Do it sloppy. Do it literally with cardboard from your recyclable bin. But while I was making this, I made 5 figures. I was in my kitchen, having fun, drinking juice, DMing friends, DMing clients. And a client of mine re-signed up for coaching. She dropped about $11,000 to work together while I'm crafting this DIY. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about being perfect. Everything you want in life, the success you dream of, the success you desire is going to come on the other side of you just going for it, building it, feeling it, and then letting your hands, your voice, your body express it into the world. Let's drop right in to this concept of embodied capacity. And the thesis, right? The thread of everything that this pillar stands for is this. You do not need more courage, but you do need capacity. So a lack of capacity will have you showing up with a lot of doubt, fear, judgment, jealousy. A lack of capacity will help you sabotage as well. Yes. So what that looks like is you have a big interview coming up, but you're suddenly sick. Or you have a big opportunity to speak on a stage and you're excited for a little bit, but then suddenly you have other plans and those are more important, even though they're not. We will become really busy and we will actually choose to shut down our nervous system and our endocrine system because the threat of that success and visibility is so big to our nervous system. We will actually sabotage. And this is where I see women, and this is used to be me. I would show up, have all the vigor, all the energy, all the light, and then not get the response I thought I would get, whether that's signups, monies, or people joining my lives. And I'd ghost, I'd disappear, and I was forever on this roller coaster. Maybe you can relate to that. If you're here with me on YouTube, just put a yep, that's me all the way. I see you. The reason you're doing that isn't because you aren't intelligent, you aren't passionate enough, you aren't smart enough, successful enough. You are an expert, for crying out loud, but it's really because you haven't built up the stamina of capacity. And so we get scared easily. So what we're going to cover in today's episode is why that's so critical to uncover and how to problem solve that, because consistency begets trust, begets wealth, begets impact that you want to make in the world. Let's talk for a moment about the illusion of needing more confidence. Confidence is never a prerequisite for success. Let me say that again. Confidence is never going to be a prerequisite for success. Confidence is a result. It is the result of going ahead now while you're scared, while you're messy, while you're, taking the time to DIY your marketing materials. It's you going now while you have zero audience and zero reputation for what you want to one day become known for. When you say, I'm no longer trying to get ready for this version of me, but instead I'm just going to become her now, what happens is you activate an inner power inside of you. And when that inner power shows up, no one can ever take that away from you. And because no one can give it to you or take it away from you, you are internally and eternally a confident person. But it comes downstream. It comes after doing all the things: scared, embarrassed, unprepared, clueless, unpopular, unlikable, undigestible, just going. That's what's actually builds the feeling of what you think confidence is like. And let's unpack what confidence is. To me, it's the ability to not know how to do it, but to show up and try anyway. Confidence doesn't mean you know it all. Confident means you know what you know, and then you're very much not aware of all these other things, but you don't let that stop you. And so you roll up your sleeves and you say, well, I will give it my best attempt. But a confident person tries. Why? Because they have a statistical record of going for it. Going for it when no one was watching, going for it while they were imperfect, going for it where they had no money, no followers. They were practicing. They were rehearsing their excellence. And that's why it's really important, we're spending time right now, that you pop the illusion of the confidence bubble that is a freaking lie. But the real problem is that you haven't regulated your nervous system. And what regulation means in my world is that you haven't done the work yet to own the identity of someone who does what you want to do naturally and all of the time. Naturally. It has to feel natural for you. So for example, if I wanted to make $10,000, I wouldn't focus on how to make $10,000. I would become the identity of someone who already has it. Because I am that person that already has $10,000 ahead of it actually being in my bank account. What's going to happen to me is psychologically, my beliefs, my actions, my decisions are from the viewpoint, the identity of someone who already has 10K. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Am I going to show up differently than someone who does not have that money? It's all about assuming the end goal already done and the becoming, living from that version of yourself. That is the work of regulating your nervous system for more. I used to be medicated for this exact experience. And what would happen was that any time I went to do a presentation at work, or any time I went to speak on stage, or any time I went live, anytime I was visible and excited about it, or it was a high stakes moment, I would get so dysregulated because I didn't have the energy, the feeling, the emotion, or the identity of someone who does this naturally. And I would have to pop a beta blocker. Trauma response was there because I literally was seeing that experience as a threat. So to get off of that merry-go-round of hell, I had to not become someone else, but become more of me. And that's what you need to do too. True confidence equals nervous system safety. Because if you just go live without any preparation, if you just get on stage without any nervous system preparation, it's going to read as exposure to your nervous system. And exposure is a threat. It's vulnerability. It's like hanging your dirty laundry out there. It's gossipy. It feels icky. It feels dirty. It feels like someone's going to come and get you. You have to have nervous system safety. So let's talk more about what embodied capacity actually is. It's really your body's ability to hold more visibility, more eyes and ears on you, more power, more decision making, more attention on you, more responsibility, more DMs, more questions about your program that you have to be available for without it wanting you to run for the hills, right? More sensation. If you're talking in front of one person, but suddenly 100 people, you're going to have more sensation, more responsibility, more life inside of you without collapse. That's embodied capacity. And it's how you hold that more that matters. So whether you're on stage or you're on a podcast mic, whether you're selling a high ticket offer, this is also what helps you to be more of yourself again. So many women I speak to are like, hey, behind closed doors and with my friends, I'm really funny. I'm really goofy. I'm really witty. But then when I go online, I'm like this weird robot. I understand that 100%. And it's not until you actually know how to work this embodied capacity into your life that you actually start speaking like yourself again. And that's when everything unlocks. Your clients love you. You're not everyone, but your people. And so this is the path to that. This is the secret to that. Showing up silly, bold, relax, showing up undigestible, showing up apologetic, showing up as that sacred rebel. Maybe that's your vibe. And then you're able to turn your expression into your brand's currency. And this is where magnetism, opportunities, people, clients, wealth start pouring in. Let's get into now the tangible things you need to be doing inside of your business, inside of your leadership today to build that capacity. Okay. Grab your notebook, grab your pen. Here come the 5 things. Number 1, build safety around being seen. So this is like shining the spotlight on where you're still afraid and where you're still hiding. So this is a reflection question for you is, what parts of me do I still hide? Do I hide them online? Do I hide them in meetings? Do I hide them on my podcast? So what I want you to do is once you've identified where you're hiding online, where you're hiding in your content, where you're hiding in your brand, your business, your leadership, or even at home, I want you to challenge yourself to post something today, unfiltered. Post something this week, unfiltered, undigestible. This could be a voice note. This could be a reel. This could be an IG live. This could be sitting people down at the dining room table and saying, you know what, guys? You know what, fams? I need to let you in on something. But you must stop hesitating. And this is about taking action, being resolved to get it in this week. Okay. This is how you're going to build, practice, rehearse safety. And of course, it's going to feel awkward AF. We go now while it's messy. We don't care because it's about building the muscle memory around being seen and heard that makes it feel so damn good so quickly. And you're going to get there. You're going to be so surprised at how fast. It doesn't take long. It just takes a couple of attempts to finally talk about the thing you never knew you could talk about. Number 2, practice vocal rehearsals with your body involved. This is a huge piece of embodiment. Where do we have capacity? In the body. Your mind is very limited. You're spinning a lot of plates. You're very busy. The body holds the space. So when you go to rehearse what you're going to say online or what you're going to say in your podcast or the next meeting or on stage, do not do it just in your head. Rehearse. We want you with the breath. We want you with the sound. We want you with the ums. We want you with the hesitation. We want you practicing with movement, preferably in front of a mirror. Next level, record yourself and watch it back. Try to do this speaking in different tones. This is about experimenting. I love bringing my clients through. Okay, let's slow it down here. Let's speed it up there. Okay, say it again to me. And then I'm like, all right, let's make that loud. Let's make that part soft. And what we start to do is get the sort of emotional landscape down. Okay, that word there, quieter, really landed. Notice as you're doing this though, where does tension arrive in your body? Tension is a sign that you are at your edge. And what we're going to want to do in those moments is go to our head to abandon and run away from that tension. Tension is a sign of visibility. Visibility, up until this moment, for many of you, is a sign of a threat. But what we're doing in a safe environment, at home, in front of the mirror, by yourself, is we're practicing the awkwardness before your big visibility moment, okay? So do not do it in your head. Do it out loud. I even advise my clients to buy a cheap podcast microphone or a cheap microphone from Amazon. Walk around that house with the mic in your hand. Get into the identity of a speaker. Practice around your house, using your body, checking for those moments of tension. And when you feel tension, pause and breathe. Thank that tension for showing up, but then keep going anyways. Number 3, this is a big one. Regulate before visibility. There's a huge difference in my voice and my delivery, I've noticed, and my comfort. Even now, to this day, when I do not take a moment to regulate, to breathe, to embody before I make a podcast episode like this, if I embody and I regulate, I'm going to speak with ease and comfort and confidence, and I speak with a resonance to my soul. And this is what you guys are trying to avoid. You're trying to get out of your head where you're overthinking, where you're obnoxiously obsessing over being perfect, where you're negotiating with your power. Should I be powerful? Should I say it? Should I not? So before you press record, before you go live, 1 minute of grounding practice at least. Breathing, humming, shaking your body, tapping, breath work. If you're inside of my Vocal Honey coaching program, we have the Honey Hub. We get into these things. And here's an affirmation for you. I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be seen. Repeat that. Feel that shift in your DNA. Feel that encode into your body and expand you. Okay, number 4, stretch your edges consistently, but gently. I cannot underscore this enough. If you're harsh on yourself, you need to go someplace else. Listen, we are about self-love now. We are done with the judgment. We are done with the shame. That was a whole era and a whole lifetime, but we're here now. And we're the identity of the queen. We're sovereign. We are powerful. And that power is sourced from love, believe it or not. Not love from an external source, but a love within. We do want to stretch ourselves, but we want to do it with gentleness, but we do want to be consistent, okay? So use social media. There's no better platform for the opportunity to practice stretching yourself, feeling that tension of holding more. You repeat that over and over again, multiple times throughout the month. You are going to be a professional at visibility and holding that embodied capacity. Vocal Honey is about slowly exposing you more and more. My client Jill is the best example ever. I love you, Jill, but man, she was clammed up on me. I say this with love and reverence. Like, this is the journey we go on inside this program. She could only text. She couldn't even hold the button to voice note yet. But then she pushed herself, right? Lovingly, because the space was about love, and she knew that this was the time to do it. And so she challenged herself gently. And then we can't shut her up now. She's completed the 4 months of coaching. She's going on for Amplified, which is like the private mentorship at the higher level once you've completed Vocal Honey. And now she is going to be speaking on my stage in April for the 2-day live event. I mean, she's here. She's a speaker now. She has identified fully as a speaker, and she's going to be getting on other stages too this fall. This is what can happen for you too. You just need that love and you need that consistency. So post something that scares you today. And finally, number 5, create a capacity-centered environment. So what this looks like, you guys are going to love this. You've got to guard your greatness. This means protecting and setting boundaries around who gets access to your energy. Not everyone should get access to you anymore. No. You are powerful. you are regal, your time and attention are given to just those who love and respect you. Set boundaries on who gets access to your energy, because capacity is an energy game. You are 99.999% energy. We are only a tiny bit physical. Everything you are is electromagnetic energy. And so the capacity of holding more is really an electromagnetic currency frequency game. It's not physical body stretching, it's energetic capacity. Literally, electromagnetic energy inside of you gets to go bigger and bigger. And inside of that energy field that you're holding, this isn't woo, this is science, guys. This is where you get to give from. And this is where your clients get bigger and bigger transformation. This is where you up level your programs. This is where you start to charge more. It's look at, I have more capacity and I guard that shit. Because now the people that I really love and the people that really matter, they get even more potent amounts of me. Another point I want to say about this is you want to start to build your brand around your truth, not trends. This is where we are guarding our greatness even more. Yes, the world's doing this over here, but that actually would leak my energy. My capacity wants to do this instead. For example, you might hear from a lot of influencers that they go live every single day, or they post on social media every single day. But if that literally does not resonate with your soul, if it does not feel good to you, then you're following a trend, not your truth. This is also about taking radical ownership and silencing the world around you and really focusing on who you are, spending time in silence, getting off of social media several times throughout the day, being in nature, clearing the channel out so that you can feel and listen to your own capacity. And yes, your energetic capacity will speak to you. You'll get downloads. And the more you refine and build and protect your energy, the faster and clearer those energetic downloads, AKA intuition, comes to you. And part of this point number 5 is building and creating a capacity-centered environment is thinking about the people, the conversations, the activities that contract you or steal your energy. I really want to encourage you to normalize the bigness of your goals, your dreams, the stages, the books, the podcasts, the millions of dollars, the legacy. You can hold all of that. You were built, you were here to hold all of that, but not without the work of training your body to hold all of that. Everyone wants to know how to make the money, how to get famous, how to do this thing. But no one's asking, how do I hold it once I got it? Because that's legacy. That's staying power. Because you were never too sensitive. You were never too much. You were never too broken to anything. You just were never taught how to hold the power that you came with. Remember, it's not about confidence. It's about capacity. And I really want to invite you to reflect on what part of your visibility still feels unsafe and why is that? And if you were to become the future self now, who no longer feels threatened by that, who feels safe and it feels easy to express that, what action would you take today? In the next episode, we're going to be talking all about vocal resonance. And this is a really important piece of building that capacity to be seen and heard and building the capacity for more. It's when we're speaking and living in our authentic channel that resonates with what our soul and what our heart is here to say and feel. This is where life becomes super easy. This is where we start to let go of the script and we start to speak with authority and power. We start to feel like we can get our most truest parts of us back into the game and lead with that. If you're on the YouTube channel, guys, I really appreciate you being here. And let me know in the comments which part of this discussion really moved you today. I'd love to have that discussion with you in the chat section. And if you're hanging out with me on the podcast, I really appreciate your time and energy and letting me speak into your ear and hopefully into your soul today. Remember, use that vocal honey. Speak up and speak often. I'll see you in the next episode.